Hey guys, Mike Healy here, and I have my special guest, Liz Pevytoe, and I wanted to interview her. I've been trying to track her down for some time. She has got all kinds of stuff going on. If you didn't know who Liz was, Liz is one of the top customer gatherers in our company, and it's so cool to have the expertise she's bringing to the table. And I wanted to make sure that you guys got to hear what she's been doing, how she's been doing it, and so on. So say hi to everybody, Liz. They're all excited to hear you.
Hey, hey, hey.
Liz Pevytoe here. Remember, you got to say it like that, like some of your Facebook lives.
Yeah, Liz Pevytoe
Okay.
here.
So Liz, most people know, have watched these before. We only take a few minutes to do some of these, but they've been very, very effective. A lot of people love what we've been doing with these interviews and stuff. So why don't you give us your background a little bit, and then I'll ask you some easy questions that you can go ahead and answer on top of that.
Okay, great. Well, unlike Mike, I do not have a background in networking. I've actually been a registered nurse since 1995. So no sales experience, no networking experience, just a registered nurse. And I specialized in breastfeeding of all things. So for the last 15 years of my career in nursing, I helped moms reach their breastfeeding goals and taught prenatal classes. So kind of a crazy background. But about 5.5 years ago, I found myself starting to get really burned out working in the hospital setting. So I was introduced to network marketing and had a lot of success in a short amount of time because I was really passionate about what I was doing. And also I was extremely motivated to get out of the hospital setting. Right. I didn't want to clock in and clock out anymore. So for the past 4.5 years, I've been able to be at home through the vessel of network marketing. But about 2 years ago, I noticed that I had kind of plateaued in my business. I couldn't get it to grow anymore. I was a really great educator because with my nursing background, I was in a health and wellness company and I was teaching the classes. And guess what I was doing? I was teaching myself right out of a sale because I would teach, let's say I would teach a class on gut health and I would rock that class out. And then I would go to follow up with everybody who came. And guess what? They went on Amazon and bought their products on Amazon rather than purchasing through me. So I was excited that they were getting healthy, but my business just stopped growing. Right. So back in March, I've been following Mike on YouTube. And back in March, he started talking about this crazy business called I Boomerang. And I started doing research and 2 weeks later, jumped right in. So that's my story.
That's a good story though. So let's keep going with because that leads me into this. So what was it that you saw with I Boomerang and our platform that really piqued your interest to begin with?
Okay, great question. Number one, I trusted you because I'd been following you as a Christian leader in the industry for years. Like I found you from a video that said how to pray for your network marketing team. So I trusted you, even though I didn't know you personally, I trusted you as a leader. And then you were talking about Holton Bugs. And I was like, wait a minute, I better pay attention to this because I didn't know a lot about him, but I knew he was an industry icon. Yeah. And then thirdly, I was in the health and wellness business, and that is a $1 trillion a year business. And I knew tons of people that were selling health and wellness products. And then you said told us that the travel industry is an $8 trillion industry. So just from a business standpoint, I was like, wow, if I can make a decent income in a $1 trillion industry, think about what I could do in an $8 trillion industry. So it was just like, mind-blowing. So those are the top 3 reasons why I decided to jump in.
Okay, so you saw the idea, you saw the concept, it made sense. It's all about customer acquisition. Now, from a customer acquisition standpoint, have you ever seen anything easier to acquire customers or have a conversation than really what we've got going on here?
Absolutely not. And that is another thing that really turned me on to this business because as a leader in the health and wellness business, it was heartbreaking to watch my team members teach all the classes, do the giveaways, do all the follow-ups, and they saw no growth. And no, from a leadership standpoint, as a leader, like I said, that was extremely appealing to me, because I'm like, wow, we will be giving away savings to customers. We won't be trying to upsell them. We won't be trying to make them fall in love with the product or keep them on auto ship. So absolutely, that was very exciting to me. I mean, the biggest challenge I have in giving away these savings sites is people think there's a catch. So I have to walk them through to let them know that it truly is free.
Yeah. Okay. So from that standpoint, so we have something that's very easy to talk about. We're not asking anybody to spend money that they weren't already going to spend. And we get paid 50% on what they save. So if you don't mind me asking, because I think it's kind of cool for people to hear what the results are, in a few months, I mean, you've been in since kind of the beginning of when they pre-launched. So we're pushing right around 7 total months, right?
I was at 6.
6 months for you, probably. Yeah, 6 months for you. What's just on the basically, hey, I don't know if I can help you or not. Tell us a little bit about what you're saying to get customers, and tell me first, how many customers have you already acquired? Like, what's your customer base up to?
I have personally enrolled. I hate the word enrollment because they're not paying anything, and that's in the industry. That's a word that people think that they're having to buy into something. But right. As of today, I have 278 customers.
278.
And this is my entire pitch. I don't have
to, my calculator out real quick. Go ahead.
I don't have to teach a class. I don't have to send them a presentation. I don't have to do anything. This is all I say. Do you like to travel? And they say, yes, I love to travel. Would you like to save on travel? Of course, I'd like to save on travel. Okay, great. I'm going to give you a website. Here's a code that you activate it. It's a membership only website, but it's 100% free for you, free to try and free to keep forever. You're going to use it kind of like you would like Groupon. You're going to go on there and look for the best deals, and you could save up to 70% on these websites. It's 100% free. So here you go.
That's amazing. Now let's go. So it's pretty simple. You've got a little pitch there that you talk to people, just a numbers game. You've acquired 270 some customers. They're showing that the average customer right now, they're estimating, will potentially put $300 per customer annually into a distributor's pocket, right? Mm-hmm. So if it played out exactly like that, that's what the income, I don't know if you can see that there, that's just off a personal customer base. Now, you and I are both going to extrapolate, I don't know if that's the word, extrapolate, that's not the word I'm looking for. We're going to futurecast. How about that? We'll just use that one. Okay. Have you heard anything else that's coming down the pipeline that might make these customers worth even more money than they are today?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm listening.
Yeah. I mean, Holton told us from the very beginning 2 things that just literally made my eyes water, and in a very best possible way. I cried like a big baby, and that was, he said that travel was just the start. So I was like, whoa, okay, listen to what he's saying. So yeah, I mean, coming up very soon, we are going to be adding discounted mobile phone service and ride sharing services. And they said that there's a lot more to come. I mean, they have the vision for this business to be a household name and one of the most, if not the most, admired company in the world within the next 18 to 24 months. And if you haven't paid attention, go to growjoe.com, and we're in the top 10 in the world for fastest growing businesses. And that's not network marketing businesses, that's businesses. But yeah, I mean, we're just going to keep adding services that cost our customers nothing to be a part of, but it will save them money. So, I mean, that's the whole I Boomerang concept. You throw out savings and you get back.
So basically what's really cool is because you and I both have experienced success in networking from a recruiter standpoint, where we build teams. But I think the most exciting thing for a lot of people that they don't understand is somebody could genuinely get into this thing and build just a customer base without even building a team and make really decent money, whether it's just to supplement their income a few $100s a month or a few $1,000s a month or hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's totally doable, let alone if somebody did go the distance and basically say, hey, this makes sense to me. I'm sure it probably makes sense to everybody else, and build a team. So I wanted to stay somewhere around the 10-minute mark on our interview here, Liz. If you were to talk to, if you're talking to Lisa out there and Lisa doesn't know anything about this business, how would you introduce her, and what would you encourage her to kind of do from a standpoint of, what would she take next? What would the steps be that she takes to take a look at this?
Well, usually the way I am approaching people is I don't cold call people. I'm just sharing my excitement, sharing my stories on my Facebook timeline and on YouTube. And so most of the time people are actually reaching out to me, which is awesome. So at that point, I plug them into our amazing systems. So I ask them, do you want to watch a video, or would you like for me to plug you into our business prospecting group? And at that point, the systems take over for me. So we have an amazing interactive presentation called that I decide that I can send people to, and it walks them through the entire business concept. It lets them make a decision at the end. Do they want to get started with as a rep? Do they want to be a customer, or are they not interested? So it takes all the ickiness out of the sales process for me. And then if they want to get plugged into our business information group, I could just add them to the group, and all the testimonials are there, all the videos are there. They can walk themselves through it at their own pace. I just follow up with them occasionally. So I love that because it's a system that I just plug them into.
Now, real quick, and I have to have a disclaimer here, because a lot of people have done the traditional networking businesses where you do home meetings and home parties and hotel meetings and things like that. Have you done a lot of that yet?
Not one.
I haven't, believe it or not, yesterday I did my very first in-person presentation, but it was because it was a good friend of mine and we were eating at Panera. And that's really what it came down to. So I kind of but that's what's been so amazing about this is a technology company first and foremost. So we can use technology to get people to take a look at this stuff. Like you said, if you have systems in place, I've heard this through a gentleman named Michael Gerber, who wrote the book, The E-Myth. He said, systems are the leverage by which you turn ordinary people into extraordinary performers. Great businesses do not look for extraordinary people. Great businesses help ordinary people get good results with good systems. And I remember hearing that over and over and over, and I never forgot it. And that's why I think we put some really good stuff together. And obviously you're proof. You've used Facebook, you've used Instagram, you've used the YouTube channel to get people on board with this thing by just telling your story. You're just sharing the story, and people are listening. So, Liz, thank you so much for being on here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's fun.
And just so you guys know that Liz is part of obviously my team. I personally enrolled Liz. She mentioned that a second ago. But what's really, really nice is Liz has also been very helpful with people that are not in her organization. Same thing with myself. We're always out there to try to help everybody because a rising tide lifts all ships. So if anybody, so we can have that. So Liz, I'm going to go solo real quick. You can stay right there, but I'm going to go solo. So everybody wave goodbye to Liz. Say goodbye, Liz. It's a big smile.
Bye.
Okay, that'll be my screenshot. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on here. Like I said before, I like to keep these kind of short. This one ran maybe a little over 10 minutes. But here's what I'll tell you is there's a significant difference between making a living and having a life. And most people are joining our business because they do see a very simple way to supplement their income. So if you're watching this somewhere, feel free to go get back with the person that got you, take a look at this video. Let them know you got some questions, you got some details, want to get an eye decide, want to be part of the groups or whatever, and we'll take care of that. So thanks again. And if you'll do today what others won't, you can live tomorrow like others can't. Thanks again, and we'll see you. Thanks, Liz.